Hey, what's up? Goreshack here again with another video. This time I'm gonna review a movie that is not very much talked about, really. Nobody really reviews it, so, and I thought it was a kick-ass awesome movie. It was made in 1991, directed by Eric Red, who actually wrote Near Dark vampire movie. So he directed this, and it's Body Parts, starring Jeff Fahey as Bill Crookshank. This movie is fucking awesome. Like I said, it's never been talked about very much, and nobody reviews it. Some people might have it in their collection, but it's a good horror film. I really recommend this movie. It is kick-ass. It's Bill Crookshank. He's a criminal psychologist who loses his arm in a car wreck. And that scene is just fucking brutal. He goes flying right out of the car window, and goes flying right out. The car goes, and the truck rams in the back of him, and it makes the car go flying, and pushes the car ahead of Bill Crookshank. He goes flying on that, and goes like flying, slings him way up in the air, and he like loses his arm. It was a nasty scene, man. That was fucking hardcore. Yeah, the picture right there, it's when he's got his new arm. Dr. Webb, the surgeon, she puts a killer's arm on Bill Crookshank's body, and it causes him to have these nightmares of what the killer did to his victims, like strangled them, like slit their throats and stuff like that. And Bill goes back to the doctor and says, Dr. Webb, you put a killer's arm on my body without telling me. And he has these outbursts. He's like, when he comes home one night, his kid like attacks him from behind to play fight with him, and he jumps off the couch and right onto his arm, and I guess the fucking arm takes control and like smashes the kid right in the mouth, sends him flying. That was pretty funny scene, but yeah, the arm like takes control. The killer's name is Charles Fletcher. That was a tongue twister there for a minute. Charles Fletcher, he's the killer. And he finds two other guys that, there's another guy that he contacts called Mark Draper. He ends up having the killer's legs also, because he lost his legs in an accident. So he's got his legs, Bill's got his arm, and another guy named, character named Lacey, played by Brad Dourif, he's got the other arm. So those three guys have all his limbs. And he goes to them and asks them if they have symptoms, which they don't. They don't have symptoms that Bill does. But it's a good movie, really great. Give it a chance, man. It's freaking awesome. It's by Paramount Pictures. There's the disc. There's Charles Fletcher, which is trying to get his body parts back. Yeah, and it turns out that Dr. Webb is actually saving Charles Fletcher's head so she can reanimate him and get him to go out and kill people. That is just fucking hardcore. Yeah, check it out, man. So she reanimates him and gets him to go out and get the body parts that she put on Bill, Mark, and Lacey. So she gets him to go out and get his body parts back. Yeah, so just fucking hardcore. There's one scene where he's sleeping with his wife. Bill's sleeping with his wife, and his arm takes control while he's sleeping, and he starts to strangle his wife. So he ends up leaving home and goes to a hotel so he won't hurt his family. He goes to Dr. Webb's office and he says, "I want this arm off." He says, "I don't care. Give me a prosthetic or a fucking hook. I don't give a shit. Just get this arm off me." She's like, "Are you fucking crazy? After all what we've done?" She says, "I will have you put in a mental hospital before we get that arm off." He says, "I may be blunt, Dr. Webb, but why don't you go fuck yourself?" She's like, "Get the hell out of my office." He's like, "Fuck you and all your bullshit. I want this fucking arm off." So, yeah. That's just awesome. Jeff Fahey is just phenomenal in this as Bill Crookshank. Just great. There's a bar scene too where this guy meets Mark Draper and Lacey at the bar talking about the arm. He says, "How can a man kill so many people?" You know, because he does research on this Charles Fletcher guy, and he is actually a murderer, and he killed like dozens of people. And he says, this guy far down from the bar from him, he says, "Hey, you're the guy on TV. You got that killer's arm." Bill's like, "Yeah, that was me. What about it?" Then the guy said, "Let me see it." He says, "It's any other arm like anybody else's." He's like, "Bullshit." So he goes over and tries to like see Bill's arm. And he says, well, before he does that, Bill says, "Hey, I ain't no circus attraction." And that guy says, "Well, you're some kind of fucking freak." And he goes up and tries to look at Bill's arm. Bill's arm grabs the beer bottle and just smashes him right over the freaking head, just like KOs him. That was pretty fucked up. And the whole bar ends up fighting. Bill just like kicks the shit out of so many guys, man, with his arm. He like fucking like keeps smashing a guy right in the face. Anyways, it was just fucking awesome. Highly recommend this. A medical miracle has become a murderous nightmare. So, I don't know how many of you guys have this movie, but if you don't, go out and buy it. It is worth it, man. It is a good movie. The special effects are good. The ending part, Bill ends up shooting Charles Fletcher's head off with a shotgun. It was a nice effect, but if you blink, you will miss it. So don't blink when you see the head like get blown off with a shotgun. It goes by really quick, so don't blink. Brad Dourif co-stars in this as Lacey. Good acting job. The characters and actors are just freaking great. So give this a buy. That's my review for Body Parts. So I like the disc. It's pretty cool. It's got all those fleshes carrying the legs and the arm. So yeah, that's my review for body parts. So I highly recommend it. And thank you for watching another one of my videos, and talk to you guys later. Bye.